Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is February 5th, 2026, Thursday. Today we're going to do college basketball, NBA, NHL, soccer, golf on this day, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start college basketball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today. Yesterday's slate was surprisingly bigger than tonight's. I think part of that is because a lot of the games that are normally on Thursdays got moved to Wednesday. With some of the conferences. Wofford over VMI, 81-67. UNC Greensboro over Western Carolina, 81-78. UNC Asheville over SC Upstate, 76-67. Villanova over Seton Hall, 72-60. App State over South Alabama, 65-57. Number 8, Houston over UCF, 79-55. Minnesota upsets number 10, Michigan State, 76-73. Number 24, Louisville over Notre Dame, 76-65. Bucknell over American, 60-55. Or 60-59. St. Joe's over George Washington, 76-73. Duquesne over George Mason, 71-65. South Florida over UTSA, 109-88. Tulsa over FAU, 78-76. Colgate over Army, 69-55. Winthrop over Radford, 80-78. Longwood over Gardner-Webb, 86-66. High Point over Charleston Southern, 80-55. Providence over Butler, 97-87 in double OT. Loyola Maryland over Lehigh, 89-84 in double OT. Navy over Lafayette, 65-50. St. Thomas over South Dakota State, 77-62. Youngstown State over Purdue Fort Wayne, 90-61. Cleveland State over Oakland, 91-78. Robert Morris over Wright State, 72-66. Green Bay over Northern Kentucky, 87-84 in OT. East Tennessee State over Furman, 75-71 in OT. UL Monroe over Old Dominion, 85-79. Marshall over Southern Miss, 81-77. Louisiana over JMU, 64-61. Troy over Georgia State, 74-63. Texas State over Georgia Southern, 77-71. Arkansas State over Coastal Carolina, 70-66. Alabama over Texas A&M, 197. Liberty over Delaware, 75-69. East Texas A&M over Northwestern State, 74-68. Wichita State over Charlotte, 74-64. Arkansas Pine Bluff over Grambling, 67-64. Georgetown over Creighton, 76-68. Central Arkansas over North Alabama, 81-60. Florida International over Middle Tennessee, 88-84 in OT. Sam Houston over Utah, 70-66. New Mexico State over Louisiana Tech, 72-63. Rice over North Texas, 86-83 in double OT. Baylor over Colorado, 86-67. SC State over Maryland Eastern, 63-54. Cal over Georgia Tech, 90-85. South Dakota over KC, 82-75 in OT. Detroit over Milwaukee, 76-63. Austin Peay over Lipscomb, 87-76. Number 5, Illinois over Northwestern, 84-44. Oklahoma State over number 16, BYU, 99-92. Arizona State over Utah, 71-63. Kentucky over Oklahoma, 94-68. Or 78. Portland upsets number 6, Gonzaga, 87-80. Gonzaga doesn't even belong, in the top 15. Come on. You lose to fucking Portland. You're an overrated team. You're an overrated program right now. Period. Tired of Gonzaga and the hype. How about don't lose to shitty teams like Portland? Number 20, Clemson over Stanford, 66-64. Santa Clara over Pacific, 71-56. St. Mary's over San Diego, 87-70. Or 87-60. Seattle over Pepperdine, 83-81. Loyola Marymount over San Fran, 84-75. Iowa over Washington, 84-74. Utah State over New Mexico, 86-66. And Oregon State over Wazoo, 74-64. All right, tonight, 6 o'clock, Vermont, Maine. My line is Vermont, 5.5. And it is... Vermont 8.5 total, 130.5. I'll take Maine plus 5.5 to cover the spread. Binghamton, UMBC. I have UMBC 10.5, and it is 12.5, 139.5. I'll take Binghamton in the points. Albany, Bryant. I have Bryant 3 3/4, and it's 1.5 and 134.5. I'll lay 1.5 with Bryant. 6:30. Fox Sports 1. Penn State number 2, Michigan. I have Michigan 18.1. It's 25.5, 161.5. I'll take Penn State to cover. 7 o'clock, ESPN 2, West Virginia, Cincinnati. I'm Cincinnati 1.5, and it's 5.5 to 127.5. I'll take the Mountaineers to cover 5.5. The Mountaineers got to win this game if they want to be in the tournament. These are games you have to win. Fairfield, Sacred Heart. I have Sacred Heart by 3. And it is 1.5, 154.5. I'll take the under. Iona Siena. On ESPNU, my line Siena 7.5. And it is... That's what it is. And 149 is the total. I'll go over. Merrimack, Mount St. Mary's. I have Merrimack 1.2. And it is 1.5, 132.5. I'll go over. Canisius, Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac 12.9, 13.5, 141.5. I'll go over. A lot of the MAC, the AA MAC teams are playing tonight instead of Friday. That's why Friday's so light. Ryder Marist. My line is Marist 15.25. And it is 14.5, 135.5. I'll take the over. A lot of holy shit, a lot of right on lines. St. Peter's, Manhattan. My line is St. Peter's 1.1. It's 4.5, 144.5. I'll take Manhattan getting 4 and a hook. Plus 170 outright. I think that's valuable. Chicago State Central Con. Mine's Central Con 11.1, and it is 8.5, 138.5. A lay 8.5 for Central Con. St. Francis Mercyhurst. My line's Mercyhurst 10.3. And it's 8.5 and 136.5. I'll go over. New Haven LIU. My line is LIU 14.7. And it is 9.5, 135.5. I'll lay the points. Lemoyne Wagner. My line's Wagner 1.25. Lemoyne 1.5 total 139.5. I'll take Wagner plus 1.5 and plus 110 outright. Stonehill and Fairleigh Dickinson. I have Stonehill 0.2. And it's Fairleigh Dickinson 2.5 total 129.5. I'll take Stonehill plus the 2.5 and plus 114 outright. A lot of Jersey teams playing under. Here's another one. UMass Lowell, NJIT, NJIT 4.5. It's 2.5, 149.5. I'll lay the points at NJIT. NJIT's playing well. Northeastern Hofstra. Mine's Hofstra 8.5. And it is 9.5, 155.5. I'll go over. Another Jersey team, Monmouth Stony Brook. I have Stony Brook 3.5, and it's 2.5, 136.5. I'll go over on that one. Drexel Campbell. I have Campbell 1.5, and it's 4.5, 141.5. I'll take Drexel in the points. William & Mary, UNC Wilmington, CBS Sports Network. I have Wilmington 7.5, and it's 4.5, 157.5. I'll lay 4.5 with UNC Wilmington. NCAT in Charleston. I have Charleston 14.5, and that is 10.5, 154.5. I'll lay the points with Charleston. Elon Hampton. I have Hampton 4.8. And it is Elon 1.5 total 142.5. I'll take Hampton plus 1.5 and plus 102 outright. Mercer Chattanooga. I have Chattanooga 2.8. And it's Mercer 4.5 total 155.5. I'll take Chattanooga plus 4.5 and plus 172 outright. Stetson Bellarmine. My line is Bellarmine 1.25. And it's 3.5 and 148.5. I'll take Stetson getting 3 and a hook. North Florida, West Georgia. I have West Georgia 7.25. 6.5, 168.5 under. That's too high. Jacksonville, Queens. I have Queens 7. And it's 8.5, 146.5. I'll go over. Florida, Gulf Coast, Eastern Kentucky. I have Eastern by 2. And it is 2.5, 153.5. I'll go over. Denver, North Dakota State, 8 o'clock. My line's North Dakota State, 9.25. And it's 12.5 and 155.5. I'll take Denver getting 12 and a hook. Omaha, North Dakota. My line is North Dakota 3.6. And it's 2.5, 150.5. I'll go over. The Citadel, Sanford. I have Sanford 9.5. And it's 13.5 and 143.5. I'll take the Citadel plus the points. Lindenwood, Little Rock. I have Lindenwood 0.4. And it's Arkansas, Little Rock 1.5 total. 151.5. I'll go over. Abilene Christian, Utah Valley. My line is Utah Valley 6.5, and it's 14.5, 145. I'll take Abilene Christian plus 14.5. 8:30 Fox Sports 1, Ohio State, Maryland. I have Ohio State 3.6. And it's 7.5 and 150. And I'll take Maryland getting the point. Western Illinois, Tennessee Tech. I have 10 Tech 8.7. It's 8.5 and 143.5. I'll take the over. Southern Indiana, Tennessee Martin. My line's Martin 11.2. And it's 11.5 and 131.5. I'll take the over. Morehead State and Southeast Missouri State. I have Southeast Missouri State by 6. And it's 8.5, 146.5. I'll take Morehead State getting 8.5. Eastern Illinois, Tennessee State. I have Tennessee State 8.6. It's 9.5, 146.5. I'll take the over. 9 o'clock ESPN 2, Memphis UAB. I have UAB 2 3/4. It's 1.5, 154.5. I'll go under. Santa Barbara, UC Davis. I have UC Davis 0.3. It's Santa Barbara 3.5 to 148.5. I'll take UC Davis plus 3.5 and plus 146 outright. Northern Colorado, Weber State. I have Weber State 1.3. And it is Northern Colorado 1.5 to 162.5. I'll take Weber plus 1.5 and plus 102 to win the game straight up. Northern Arizona, Idaho State. I have Idaho State 5.3. And it's 7.5 and 141.5. I'll take Northern Arizona plus 7.5 points. Idaho, Montana State. I have Montana State 2 1/4. And it is 3.5 and 146.5. I'll go over. Eastern Washington, Montana. I have Montana 11.4. It's 6.5 and 151.5. I'll lay with Montana. Texas Arlington, Utah Tech. I have Pick'em. And it's Tech 1.5 total 138.5. I'll go over. Jacksonville State, Western Kentucky, CBS Sports Network. I have Western 1.2. And it's 3.5, 139.5. I'll take Jacksonville State plus 3.5. UC Riverside, Fullerton. That's 10 o'clock. My line's Fullerton 4.2. And it is 5.5, 156.5. I'll go slight under. Northridge Poly. My line's Northridge 0.8. 2.5 and 176.5. Way under. Cal State Bakersfield and Irvine. Mine's Irvine 17 1/4. It's 16.5, 144.5. I'll take the over. Long Beach State, UC San Diego. I have UC San Diego by 8. And it's 10.5, 145. I'll take Long Beach State getting 10.5. And last but not least, Tarleton State, Cal Baptist. I have Cal Baptist 9.5. And it's 10.5 and 139.5. I will take the over. Okay, now move on to the NBA. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight. Tonight's actually a steady slate tonight in the association. A lot for a Thursday, though, because they're spreading out the games with the All-Star break coming up next weekend. Knicks over Nuggets, 134-127, double overtime. Controversial Mikal Bridges foul at the end of overtime. Free throws are made by Christian Brown, and that's a game the Knicks would have lost every other year, even under Thibodeau, and then they found a way to win this one. Good on them. T-Wolves over the Raptors, 128-126. Celtics over the Rockets, 114-93. Shocking Celtics result right there. Bucks over the Pelicans, 141-137 in OT. Spurs over the Thunder, 116-106. Grizzlies over the Kings, 129-125. And the Cavs over the Clippers, 124-91. All right, lines for tonight. Wizards, Pistons. I have Pistons by a whopping 26.5. And it's 14.5 to 26.5. I'll lay 14.5 with the Pistons. Love it. Nets, Magic. I have the Magic by 8. It's 9.5 to 14.5. Over. 7:30 Jazz, Hawks. I have the Hawks 12 3/8. 9.5 to 44.5. I'll lay the points with the Hawks. Prime Video, Bulls, Raptors. Decent game. Not a disaster. My line's the Raptors 11 1/8. And it's 7.5 to 27.5. I'll lay the 7.5 with the Raptors. Bulls dealing with some trades. 8 o'clock Hornets, Rockets. I have the Rockets 7 7/8. It's 4.5 and 219.5. I'll lay the 4.5 with the Rockets, but that will not be best bet. I can't put the Rockets. I don't trust them. And Charlotte's playing really good ball. Spurs Mavericks 8:30. My line's the Spurs 15 and an eighth, and it's 8 and 230.5. I'll lay the 8 with the Spurs. I like that one a lot. Prime Video 10 o'clock Warriors Suns. I have the Suns by 6, and it's 6 and 214.5. I'll go over. And last but not least, Sixers Lakers. My line's the Lakers 4 and an eighth, and it's 3.5 and 234.5. I will go over. Okay, hockey. We'll go over the results from yesterday. Look ahead to tonight, which is the last day of hockey before the Olympics start for them. I'm not going to do Olympics today. I'll do Olympics tomorrow because of time. All right. Panthers over the Bruins 5-4 shootout. Jackets over the Blackhawks 4-0. Habs over the Jets 5-1. Wild over the Preds 6-5 OT. Avs over the Sharks 4-2. Mammoth over the Red Wings 4-1. Stars over the Blues 5-4. Flames over the Oilers 4-3. Golden Knights over the Canucks 5-2. And the Kraken over the Kings 4-2. I just realized something. Best bet's going to be rocky a little bit for a stretch during the All-Star break in the NBA. All right, 7 o'clock. You have the Hurricanes and the Rangers. Oh my goodness, the Canes are probably like minus 150 with Panarin gone now. Minus 215. Holy shit! Wow. Rangers plus 176 over under 6.5. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. Canes minus 1.5 plus 110. Rangers plus 1.5 minus 134. If this was opening night, the Rangers would have been a favorite in this game probably. I'm laying 1.5 of Carolina plus 110. The Rangers are one of the worst teams in hockey now that Panarin's gone. Penguins, Sabres. Sabres minus 125. Pens plus 104 over under 6.5. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Pens plus 1.5 minus 250. Sabres minus 1.5 plus 198. I like the under. Islanders, Devils. Pick a minus 110 each way over under 5.5. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. Isles plus 1.5 minus 260. Devils minus 1.5 plus 205. I think the Islanders deserve to be a favorite. This team beat them 9-0 a couple weeks ago. I'm taking them again, minus 110. Senators, Flyers. Sens minus 140. Flyers plus 114 over under 6.5. Overs plus 114. Unders minus 140. Sens minus 1.5 plus 172. Flyers plus 1.5 minus 215. The Flyers and the disrespect. I know Ottawa's playing good. They turned it around. But I'm going to take them at home plus 116. Preds, Caps. Caps minus 162. Preds plus 134 over under 6.5. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 105. Preds plus 1.5 is minus 170. Caps minus 1.5 plus 138. I'm going to go with the under. 7:30 ESPN Plus and Hulu. Panthers, Lightning. Bolts minus 188. Panthers plus 155 over under 6.5. Overs plus 110. Unders minus 134. Panthers plus 1.5 is minus 162. Lightning minus 1.5 plus 132. I'm going to go with over 6.5 plus 110. We're going over in a Florida game, but I'm doing it. And then 10 o'clock, Kings, Golden Knights. Vegas minus 137. Kings plus 114 over under 5.5. Overs minus 130. Unders plus 106. Kings plus 1.5 minus 220. Vegas minus 1.5 plus 176. I'm going to take LA as an upset plus 114 with Panarin in the fold now, and I think he might play. Okay. Now we'll recap the soccer from yesterday and look ahead to today. So yesterday, Carabao Cup, Man City over Newcastle United, 3-1. Man City advances 5-1 on aggregate. Spanish Copa del Rey, Real Sociedad over Alaves, 3-2. Athletic Club over Valencia, 2-1. German Cup, VfB Stuttgart over Holstein Kiel, 3-0. Copa Italia, Inter over Torino, 2-1. Coupe de France, Lorient over Paris FC, 2-0. Lyon over Stade Laval, 2-0. Nice over Montpellier, 3-2. Toulouse over SC Amiens, 1-0. And Lens over Troyes, 4-2. Libertors, 2 de Mayo over Alianza Lima, 1-0 in the first leg. CONCACAF Champions Cup, Exalaju, Monterrey, 1-1 draw first leg. And the other first leg, Cruz Azul over Vancouver FC, 3-0. Spanish Copa de la Reina, Atletico Madrid over Athletic Club, 4-1. CD Tenerife over Madrid CFF, 1-0. The Dutch backer, NEC Nijmegen over FC Volendam, 1-0. And PSV Eindhoven over Heerenveen, 4-1. Scottish Premiership, Dundee Motherwell postponed. Hibernian over Dundee United, 3-2. Falkirk over Livingston, 2-1. And Rangers over Kilmarnock, 5-1. And then, Spanish Copa del Rey. Spanish Copa del Rey. 3 o'clock. Real Betis, Atletico Madrid. Madrid even money. Betis plus 260. Draw plus 250. I'm going with Atletico Madrid at even money. Coppa Italia. Atalanta Juventus. Juventus plus 225. Atalanta plus 210. Draw plus 230. I think this is going to be a semi-upset, so I'm going to go with the draw plus 230. Coupe de France. Strasbourg, AS Monaco. Strasbourg plus 135. Monaco plus 180. Draw plus 240. I'm going with Strasbourg plus 135. The Pro League, Al-Fai over Al-Najma 3-0. 2 going on right now. Al-Ali and Al-Hazim and Al-Aqdud and Al-Halal. And the Spanish Copa del Rey, Real Sociedad FC Badalona is going on now. And then coming up is Real Madrid and Barcelona. That's the one. That's the big one. Try to pull that up. Can't find it. But I think Barcelona's gonna win. And then the Dutch Becker 2 o'clock Telstar and the Go Ahead Eagles. Go Ahead Eagles plus 135, Telstar plus 170, draw plus 260. I'm going with Telstar at home as an upset, plus 170. So, there you have it for the today's soccer. Tomorrow for see if there's any early ones. Yeah, Pro League, 9:25 Neom SC and Al Raida, 10 o'clock Al Ettifaq and Damak, and 12:30 Al Nasser and Al Ittihad. Now we'll go over the current leaderboard for the WM Open in Phoenix. In first right now, 8 under, Chris Goddard. Second, 6 under, Matt Fitzpatrick. Tied for third, 5 under, Nikolai Hojar, Michael Jordan, Pearson Cootie. Tied for 6, 4 under, Max McGreevy, Kevin Roy, Daniel Berger, Jake Knapp. Tied for 10th, 3 under, Mackenzie Hughes, Rasmus Hojar, Rio Hesatune, John Vanderleen, Kinsey Harada, Keith Mitchell, Sam Stevens. Tied for 17th with 2 under, Mark Hubbard, Chris Kirk, Ryan Fox, Davis Thompson, Kirk Katayama, Gary Woodland, Rasmus, Nijmar Peterson, AJ Ewert, Victor Hovland, Stefan Yeager, Johnny Kiefer, Hatong Lee, Adrian DeMont, the Chazer. Tied for 30th with 1 under, Bud Cauley, Seth Thiglia, Harry English, Jordan Spieth, Joe Highsmith, Michael Brennan, Chandler Phillips, Mariano Grillo, Takumi Kanaya, Max Homa, Chad Ramey, Hideki Matsuyama, Colin Morikawa, Brian Campbell, Cam Davis, Neil Shipley, John Parry, Crystal Lamtrick, Adrian Sadier, Christian Ziedenhout's tied for 49th at even with Max Grieseman, Michael Kim, Nick Taylor, Sepp Straka, Ben Griffin, Jacob Richmond, Tom Hogue, Mark Opens, S.T. Lee, Rico Hoy, Christopher Raymond, Tim Jordan Allison, Ricky Fowler, Ashke Bahita, Matt McNeely. Now I'm just going to do notables the rest of the way. Tied for 71st with 1 over. Pat Gazier, Vince Willey, Webb Simpson, Sam Burns, Corey Connors, Mac Meisner, Cam Young, JT Potson, Harry Hall, Sammy Valimaki. Tied 97th or 98th with 2 over. Scotty Scheffler, disappointing for him. Tony Finau, Peter Malnati, Adam Schenk, S.H. Kim, Xander Schauffele. Tied for 113, 3 over. Bryce Garnett, Brian Hoffman, Brooks Koepka, Andrew Novak, Matthew Pavon. Tied 121st with 5 over, and in the cellar, 123rd with 11 over, Thomas Avant. Okay, now we'll do on this day. We have to do yesterday and today because yesterday's wasn't out at the time I recorded the podcast, which was shocking. I called out all sports news on the show, literally. So we'll have to do 2. We'll do yesterday's first, February 4th. 2018, Eagles defeat Patriots in Super Bowl. Ooh, I have to do the math here. 52. 2020, Dodgers acquire Mookie Betts. 2017, Matt Ryan named NFL MVP. Also in 2017, Jim Boeheim reaches 1,000 wins. Ooh, I wonder when the Jim Boeheim screaming at the refs in Cameron Indoor is going to show up on here. Maybe in a couple weeks. That would be funny. I just thought of that. 2019, Bengals hire Zach Taylor. 2020, Mark D'Antonio steps down as head coach from Michigan State. It's football. 2019, Dolphins hire Brian Flores. 2017, Zach LaVine tears ACL. 2017, LaDainian Tomlinson elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 2014, the Braves extend Freddie Freeman. 2017, Dak Prescott named Offensive Rookie of the Year. And in 2020, Hawks acquire Clint Capella. And then on this day today, February 5th, 2017, the Patriots defeat the Falcons in Super Bowl 51. That was the 28-3 game. 2023, the Mavericks acquire Kyrie Irving. Last year, Warriors acquired Jimmy Butler. 2021, Dodgers signed Trevor Bauer. 2018, Lions hire Matt Patricia. 2024, Bobby Witt Jr. signs 11-year, $288 million extension. 2016, Louisville self-imposes NCAA tournament ban. I remember that. 2025, Mets re-signed Pete Alonso. A year later, he is no longer a Met. 2015, Magic fired Jacques Vaughn. 2019, John Wall tears Achilles at home. I remember that. 2025, the Raptors acquire Brandon Ingram. In 2019, the Maple Leafs extend Austin Matthews. Ooh, I know it's going to be on tomorrow's On This Day. It's about a player. It was a player that was on this day in a trade. Someone that was featured in a trade from On This Day from a couple days ago, and somebody that was traded last night. That's your hint. He will be on tomorrow's On This Day. Just a teaser for you. Okay, news and notes. A lot of NBA trades. I might do a separate podcast to do grades or winner loser. But the big trade of the day was that the Indiana Pacers, who really did themselves good for next year as they acquire Ivica Zubac from the Los Angeles Clippers for Benedict Mathurin. You had 2 first-round picks going back in the deal, including this year's pick. But the Pacers put big protections on it. Like, if it's from 5 to 9, the Clippers get it. But if it's 1 through 4 and 10 through 30, that conveys into an unprotected 2031 Pacers first. And I think the 2028 first-round pick is in there as well. So the Pacers are getting ready for next season. And the Clippers, they're trying to tell you that they think that their win streak thing is some sort of mirage. Or do they know Kawhi's getting suspended? Like, why would they trade Harden and Zubac all of a sudden? I don't think we had that on our bingo cards a week ago. And now neither of them are on the team. So, I think they know Kawhi suspension's coming after the All-Star break, or they thought their big run back into the play-in mix was a mirage. So, we'll find out the truth. The truth is somewhere in the middle. And then Mathurin's a nice piece for the Clippers long term. Him and Garland and even for this year, both those guys are healthy with Kawhi, and then some of the younger guys they have there. And then on the flip side, Indiana, you have Halliburton coming back next year, and you have Zubac, you have Andrew Nembhard, you have so you finally got your Miles Turner replacement in Zubac. And then you have Siakam. And then you have Nembhard. You got rid of Mathurin. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody, but they're going to be in the top 6 in the East in 2027. With they're going to be certainly not just top 6. They're going to be in the mix with the Knicks and the Pistons and the Cavaliers, assuming Cleveland does some more stuff. Because I don't know about like the Harden thing. I don't know if that's like a rental or what. But they have to put them in there. I mean, maybe the Hawks next year, and obviously the Celtics with Tatum coming back. And then the Warriors acquire Kristaps Porzingis from the Hawks. And then going back the other way is Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield. The Hawks still have a weird bunch of guys together that with the roster that's built to trade, and I actually like Porzingis for Golden State. I think somebody that they can bring back next year if they don't re-enter the Giannis sweepstakes. And then at noon this afternoon, it was reported that the Bucks are not trading Giannis today. So we'll see about that. And then the Wizards may sit Trey and Anthony Davis the rest of the year as they're trying to not convey that pick to the Knicks. And then Anthony Edwards undecided on the All-Star games. He admits he's pretty banged up and may not be playing. Interesting. There's talks that Coach Izzo may bench Jeremy Fears Jr. after technical for a groin kick last night. Yeah, you should have, if anything, he shouldn't have played the rest of that Minnesota game. Maybe bench him for a little bit in their next game. We'll see what Tom Izzo does. Knicks guard Deuce McBride getting sports hernia surgery, maybe out until the playoffs. That's a loss for the Knicks, but that not forces them. I think they would have done it anyway. But they acquired Jose Alvarado from New Orleans as so Gershon Yabusele they sent to Chicago for Dalen Terry, who goes to New Orleans with 2 second-round picks for Alvarado. I love that deal for the Knicks. I thought Jose Alvarado was going to swing the playoffs for somebody. I think Detroit missed out on him. I think Boston absolutely missed out on him, especially after they traded Fernie Simons. And the Knicks be like, nope, we got him. So I think that it was a missed opportunity for the Celtics and the Pistons, the two biggest competitors for the Knicks for the Eastern Conference crown, to get Alvarado. And even Cleveland. He could have fit off the bench on Cleveland. Yeah, where was Cleveland on that? Where was Minnesota? Like, a lot of, even West teams like Minnesota. OKC doesn't need him. Even the Lakers could have used someone like him. But, wow. That's a great trade for the Knicks, getting Alvarado. And then now they're very guard heavy, and they lack a backup big man, which is the one thing that I think they may come to regret not addressing. I know Gershon Yabusele didn't work out. But I think they can use a backup big, and maybe there's a buyout guy that they can get or somebody like that. If one of these centers on a bad team hits the buyout market, maybe the Knicks can snatch in and get him. So we'll see. So obviously tomorrow's show I will announce the my Super Bowl pick, but an injury just emerged. Seahawks rookie safety Nick Amenwori is dealing with a low ankle sprain. That's not great for Seattle's secondary. It's a decent secondary, but the littlest injuries could come to affect you in a game like this. Or just a little twig. The littlest holes on your teams always rear its ugly head when it matters the most. I always say that. So it looks like he's going to play. He's expected to play. Drake May feels great. He's putting concerns over the shoulder injury to bed. 49ers Rams set for Australia as there's a Melbourne game. That's interesting. There's Patriots legends calling out Tom Brady as he's being neutral ahead of the Super Bowl. Like, he has to. He's a broadcaster. Like, give the man a break. I mean, I think it's a bigger win for Tom that he's not calling it. I think that is a Fox lucked out on that one thing. That would have, because if, let's face it, if Fox got the game, Tom would be gushing about Drake May and, oh, he's so great. Oh, he's the next great quarterback. He'd be gushing all over Drake May and the Patriots. And, oh, Mike Vrabel, like, I think it's a win that it's Tirico and Collinsworth. But then again, you're going to be getting that from Collinsworth, but you're going to be getting that about Sam Darnold as well. He's very fair to quarterbacks. I think he's very quarterback friendly, Chris Collinsworth. And you're going to be hearing the word pass rush. Lane Kiffin says his new players need to produce heading into next season. That's his number one portal class. Dylan Raiola's brother, Tayton Raiola, is coming to Oregon as well. The tight end, Dayton. How about this? Luke Fickell turns down a contract extension, requested to forego customary one-year renewal amid 17-21 record. That's a little crazy. The NCAA denies Chambliss' appeal, the quarterback from Ole Miss. 6-year waiver turned down. He should go into the draft. And then the athletic department calls NCAA's decision indefensible in light of undisputed facts. Yikes. Eagles and A.J. Brown likely to part ways. People in league circles says it's obvious Philly wants to move on from A.J. Brown. Everyone's going to be linking him to Vrabel in New England. I think Pittsburgh would be a good fit with Mike McCarthy because they obviously missed George Pickens. But if maybe Dallas, if they get rid of George Pickens. But yeah, there's a lot of, would the Giants go there? They have a veteran to go with Neighbors? Probably not. Because I don't think they want I don't think that they want anyone from Philly because obviously there's the Barkley connection and I don't think they want people with bad reputations. But Derrick Henry is pushing for A.J. Brown to join the Ravens. That would be a good fit. The Buffalo Bills are the most obvious A.J. Brown team, though. They have the need. And Michael Penix had an Instagram post after he dropped a message after Matt Ryan declined to comment on him as the starter. Well, that's because they did actually not bad with Cousins down the stretch. The NFL executives talk tush push as VP of Football Ops says leagues plan to lightly review controversial play in offseason, as they should. But a big free agent baseball signing happened last night. The Tigers signed Framber Valdez, 3 years, $150 million to join Trey Skubal in the rotation. Now I think they should keep Skubal for the year unless things go bad and you trade him in the summer. But, or if or just wait for someone to get injured. Maybe if there's like a big injury, like maybe Garrett Cole has a big setback for the Yankees and all of a sudden they're desperate and they go get Skubal. Something like that. Or, all it takes is one Tommy John surgery from a contending team. Or dare I say, something happens with Blake Snell and he's out for the year and the Dodgers show up. There's going to be a lot of teams in play. Or maybe I think one of these teams with deep pitching staff is like the Dodgers or the Yankees. And plus those pitching staffs of the Dodgers and the Yankees, the one thing in common is that they're all health risks. Even Yamamoto. I feel like he's been hurt a couple times. And then all it takes is an injury to a good team starting pitching staff or even a team that is trying to be good or something like that. The perfect Skubal team would be the Orioles. If they got him, they're right there with the Blue Jays for the favorites in the American League for me. And then speaking of Skubal, he won his arbitration case with the Tigers. He's going to make $32 million this year. And with this signing, I do think that the Tigers are the favorites in that division now. And also, they're admitting they don't think Casey Mize is going to be what they thought he was going to be. That's what happens when you make this big signing like this, that you admit defeat on somebody. The Padres signed Miguel Andujar, 1 year, $4 million. Like that signing from a depth standpoint. Blaze Alexander getting traded to the Orioles for righty Cade Stoward. We'll see about that one. That's just change of scenery trade for both guys. Isaiah Kiner Falefa signs with the Red Sox on a 1-year deal. Good depth piece for Boston. Kaminga shocked about the Hawks. He was not expected to be traded there. I'm not shocked. Because they're offering him around the whole league. The Brooklyn Nets are waiving Cam Thomas as the team's allowing him to go to free agency. I think the Pistons and the Celtics would be really good fits, or even in the West sound like Minnesota or the Lakers or the Clippers if they want to kind of hang around. But I don't think Dallas is really going to try. But we'll see. They're talked about for Chris Paul. Ousmane Dieng got traded at least 3 times in the last couple of days. But, oh wait, no. The Bulls joined in on the Bucks Suns trade as Dieng goes to Milwaukee for Nick Richards. Okay. And then the Mavs get Tyus Jones from the Hornets for Malachi Branham. So, Branham went from Washington to Dallas to Charlotte. And then the Bucks emerged as a John Morant suitor. Maybe they'll get him in the summer. Lawrence Frank says that James Harden, he'll always consider a Clipper, but is excited to win with Garland. The Mavs don't plan to trade Kyrie Irving as they expected him to be a part of the core next year. But Tyus Jones went from Orlando to Charlotte for cash considerations and then to Dallas for Malachi Branham. And then Washington wanted to show that Trae Young, that they're serious about a playoff push for next year. Which makes sense, like I said. And then Trace Jackson Davis got traded to the Raptors for a 2026 second-round pick via the Lakers. And that Kuminga Porzingis trade took Golden State out of the Giannis race. But I think they could be back in it in the summer. And they plan to keep Draymond. The Bulls signed Mac McClung. The Bucks didn't engage with the Warriors as lack of communication from Bucks, why Warriors moved on from Giannis. And then the other big trade is the Bulls trade Ayo DeSamo to the Timberwolves. Chicago receives Rob Dillingham and 4 second-rounders for DeSamo and Juan Phillips. I like that trade for Minnesota. They get that much-needed guard. They need somebody expensive. They just need somebody that could fit with their team. And then the Lakers get Luke Kennard. Hawks getting back Gabe Vincent in a 2032 second-round pick. It's a good 3-point shooter for the Lakers. And then the Wolves moved on from Giannis after the Asamnu trade. And the Heat were trying for their Giannis package. And then the Grizzlies get Eric Gordon from the Sixers. And a 2032 second-round pick swap to Memphis. And then that Bucks Suns trade before the Bulls got in was Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey going to Phoenix for Nick Richards and Nigel Hayes Davis. But Richards went to Chicago. And what's-his-face? Dieng went to Milwaukee. So, there you have it for news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. I knew news and notes was going to be long because of the trade deadline. That's why I didn't do Masked Singer or any of that. Best bet. I'm going to college hoops. I like the college hoops slate better than the the NBA slate tonight. There was one that did catch my attention, and I was surprised to see that a really good smaller major team was this little of a favorite. And that is UNC Wilmington. So they're in the running 4.5. There's a couple other that jumped out. Chattanooga, but they're under 500. Yesterday's best bet hit. I had the Thunder. I think I went 1 and 2 on best bet. No, 2 and 1. I went 2 and 1 because I had Nevada against Boise. And then I had San Antonio against the Thunder. San Antonio, of course, is in play again against Dallas. But second of a back-to-back, that makes me nervous. I really don't love any of the hockey ones. LIU is a decent one. But I don't like touching that conference very often. Maryland against Ohio State. Yeah, this is a little bit harder than I thought. I'm going to lay with Wilmington against William & Mary. All due respect to William & Mary. I'll just put it this way. I just don't see Wilmington losing the game outright or winning by one possession, or it's a one possession game and it comes down to like the last 2 free throws or whatever. The free throw shooting at the end. Maybe it does come to that, but it ends up being like a 3-possession game rather than a 2-possession game. So I'm going to lay 4.5 with UNC Wilmington against William & Mary for my best bet of the day. So there you have it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow with everything, looking ahead to tomorrow and the weekend, and I'll finally have my Super Bowl pick for you. I think I'm going to do my Super Bowl pick at the end of the show before news and notes. So I hope you guys have a great day, everyone.